This might be a big one. I'm curious your thought on it. We haven't talked about this one, so for all of you watching, this will be a first for the point three to kind of discuss in a way. But from our good unknown friend Daniel RPK, Avengers 5 is reportedly going to be more grounded despite the multiverse being involved, and a new announcement about Kang is said to be coming in the next few months. Hero, how do you feel when you read that the fifth Avengers movie is going to be more grounded in the multiverse saga?
It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. The only way I can rationalize it in my brain, and Spider Man, I saw you make a face, but I just think it's a bad idea because you have when the Avengers come out, it's to deal with the biggest threat, right? And if you go down the grounded route, what's the point? It feels like the biggest threat isn't there, especially when we know that Avengers 5 is supposed to lead straight into Secret Wars. Even if they do Secret Wars as a two-parter and make this a big three-part event, the big threat should still be there in a way. So grounded, the only thing, and Morecambe, that's what I'm trying to rationalize is what does that mean? The only thing that I can think of that it means is that they're assembling the team. That Avengers 5 is going to be about assembling the team, and then Secret Wars is the team itself going through the actual events. But then it's like Avengers 5 isn't necessary if they go down that route. Like we're on a rewatch, it's just going to be like, oh, well, that's the movie where the team comes back. So we can kind of skip that because Secret Wars is where it's at. Where you think of Infinity War, it's like, no, Infinity War you have to watch because Infinity War leads straight into Endgame. They are like they are two pieces of the same, they're of the same movie basically. But if you do Avengers 5, 6, potentially a 7, it would feel more like 6 and 7 are the ones that you need to watch, and then 5 is just kind of a whatever.
I think Morecambe's reading our minds. Like just absolutely dominating the chat tonight. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
But that's where I feel Avengers 5 could be close to Civil War. However, to Hero's point, everything led up, like the whole Infinity Saga led up to Infinity War. And right now, like we have no lead up to anything, and Avengers 5 is still on track to release. Like we have a lot of ground to cover from a multiverse perspective, but grounded to me, that's definitely more Earth based in its origin. And I really think Cap 4 should have probably been this movie that establishes that team, and Thunderbolts kind of gives us another look to it. But, and Spider-Man, I'll ask you this question. Is it worth it to bring Kang back for this movie?
I don't even know how or like what could be done. I don't see straight up just like goes to Earth and murders Ant-Man, and then the Avengers are like, oh shit, we gotta do something about that. But I don't, it's just so weird. Like you said, when you heard more grounded, you thought Earth and like street level. That's where my mind also went when I heard about or when I saw that. So like it could still deal with the kings and the multiverse and space and stuff if they decide to like kind of do like two storyline things. But they should have. There's so much different that should have been done, and this movie should just get pushed back like a while. It needs more build up.
It probably will.
Fantastic Four is likely getting pushed back for some rumors that I've heard. And there's also rumors that they're not even gonna like be in the movie. So I really don't know anything that's gonna happen in this movie.
And to your point, I think Kang is the big curveball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we've talked about it. You go back on our channel, you see kind of the Kang update journey we've been in. That Kang's out, Kang's back in, Kang's not really in, then he's back in, then they're like, hey, he's going to be coming in the next couple months. I think to add to this rumor, I saw a couple of sources saying that D23 is a likely space for them to announce something Kang related. We'll see. But at the same time, it's
Say
like,
that for Mons.
right. But then at the same time, we've been hearing this for months now, and I mean months, that Kang is not the only villain. And that whoever this other villain is, many are thinking Doctor Doom, but even if it's not Doctor Doom, how are you going to incorporate them? Because I mean,
Yeah.
and per a lot of these sources and rumors, this other villain has very different motivations than Kang. So how do you still have Kang and not make that clash with the story that you're trying to tell when you're trying to juggle two villains? Because universally, or not universally, but for the most part, as we've seen with most superhero movies, when you start juggling multiple villains in big events, it typically doesn't work. So I don't know, man. This is like, it's so weird how they're going about this. And hopefully, whenever D23 comes around, or whatever other event that they want to come out and actually address something for once, I really hope they kind of just set it straight and be like, this is what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
In the same vein that James Gunn's doing. I don't think they will. I think they're still going to leave a lot of it up to speculation. But
Yeah.
the best case scenario, come out, tell us who's playing Kang, and kind of explain, or at least set up what's going to be next. You know, what we're going to be seeing in the coming projects. Because we need direction.
Yeah, this is one of those times where I'm like pro like leak culture. If people were going to, or if Disney Marvel specifically dropped some leaks from Avengers and it caught some traction, incredible sources were like, yo, this is massive for Avengers 5. It would take the internet by storm and it would trend for days. And it would generate hype in the way social media can generate hype. But right now, I know I was kind of joking about it, of like, if Deadpool Wolverine doesn't hit 100 mil opening weekend, is the MCU dead? This is the death flag right here. Is Avengers 5, in my opinion. If Avengers 5 is garbage, I think a lot of people are going to be vocal on this movie and say, listen, enough is enough. Like, this is the one thing that we're always going to show up. It's always been the event. It's always been the biggest thing, and it's what made the MCU the MCU. And the Avengers IP is right next to Spider-Man, like 20 some odd $billion in worth. But right now, man, I feel that this is on a tier below Deadpool and Wolverine, and it is struggling for air.
Yeah. And Morgan, I think at some point they did like being straightforward. I even look at the old phase reveals that they did, like for phases 4 and 5. They were straightforward. They told us what was coming, when it was, what order it was kind of coming out in, and we knew, right? But again, a lot has happened since that last one, but they haven't come out and said anything. So it's like, where is the big update that we want? Like, we just want a new timeline. I think if we get a timeline, not even a specifics of what's going to happen in these movies, if we get a new set timeline that's like, all right, here's what's coming out, here's when it's coming out, here's what is actually confirmed, and here's what is not, I think people would be very happy. Very happy, because now that at least gives us a general idea of what we can speculate on, instead of being like, how are they going to connect Midnight Suns and Blade? But Midnight Suns probably isn't going to come out before Avengers 5, but it might not.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing we're doing now. But if they come out and they say, hey, Blade comes out, but there's no Midnight Suns. Okay, now we know then, okay, we don't have to speculate on the Midnight Suns anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we can touch on that because I think we're probably due for another state of the MCU in a while. But go back to that quality control question of Bob Eggers what said 2-3 times where he's like less quantity, more quality, and we're like, okay, well we do this every Wednesday, and there are more and more projects that are being pushed to production and they're scheduled for release and are done filming. And 2025 is going to be full of movies and shows. So when is this supposed to happen? Avengers is probably going to fall into this bucket of like it's going to start filming next year, scheduled for a 2026 release. Let's say it gets pushed, that's 2027. We're still not outside of the range of when these shows are supposed to be released, and none of them have any connectivity whatsoever teed up. So I don't know. I have one more question for you guys about this, though. Circling back to the grounded film piece, because I think it's worth just touching on for a second. Did you feel that Quantumania or Loki season 2 or even Loki season 1 were grounded shows or movie?
I would say in a way, yes, just because they kind of like stuck to themselves as a story instead of relying on like someone else coming in to help with the story, if that makes sense. Like Loki didn't really pull from like so much Asgard stuff. It was just like a Loki TVA story. Quantumania didn't pull from like Avengers or other stuff. It was just Ant-Man story. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, I don't know if I could explain that, like what
No.
I'm trying to say
I think you
correctly or
said that
not.
really well because in Avengers movie, the expectation is not that it's self-contained and solely focused on one character that's not really utilizing their whole history. It's literally what the Avengers are. So I just thought that was an interesting thought of like they do kind of feel grounded in a way, but like, is that possible with an Avengers level movie? I don't know here. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it is, to be quite honest. That's why it's like it has such a weird grounded has such a weird like connotation to that word. And again, when you don't have clear direction on what it means for that, and you just hear people on Twitter throwing it out and throwing it out, and then we're like, ooh, that's not good. Because we only associate it with what we know.
Mm-hmm.
They could mean something absolutely different with it, but
Yeah.
we're going to associate it with what we know. But isn't it crazy that whenever Avengers 5 comes out, more than likely 2026, 7, and or 8, if it gets a pushback, that means it'll have been at least upwards close of a decade since the last Avengers movie. That's insane. And we still have no idea, absolutely no idea what's going to happen. That's insane. Because if it comes out 2026 at the earliest, I don't think it will, but at the earliest, that's 7 years. 7 years since your last Avengers movie. And we have not a clue what's going to happen.
It's
That's crazy.
wild. It's wild to think about. We got
Makes me
4. Go ahead.
Let's say it makes me wonder, and just like kind of going back to Deadpool and Wolverine, that D23 is after Deadpool and Wolverine comes out. I believe Hall H in San Diego Comic Con is like the week before or the week like after, like the week that Deadpool and Wolverine releases. So I really wonder if Marvel's been quiet all this time just to wait for that movie to come out and see how it does. And then go full in on like this is how like maybe something big could happen from there, and that's why they've been quiet all this time.
It's the week of.
It's just weird. Hall H,
Yeah. SDCC is the week of.
damn, we ain't getting shit from them for.
Oh, it's the week of Deadpool Wolverine. I just zoned out for a second.
Yep. San Diego Comic Con, July 25th through the 28th.
Dude, you can't announce anything else. You're
They're
gonna
not
nerf the
be
whole
announcing
movie.
anything, yeah. So D23
Oh my
is
gosh.
D23 is gonna be huge.
Oh
They're probably
no.
gonna be gonna do stupid other TV shows at Hall H because
God, dude, that
boys,
sucks.
no.
I didn't connect this till you
no.
said it. Oh my god, that sucks. That sucks.
That
I
does
wouldn't be
suck.
surprised if Marvel just skips it outright again, like they did last year.
Just have the Deadpool promo. Just kind of leave it as that.
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
Or
if
just
they
they have
skip
no
it.
stage presence at all.
I'd say none.
Guys,
'Cause
we still need a Fantastic Four team. We still need to see all those people. Like they're like we were talking about that for a while. Like your big suit reveal. What are they getting? Wow, I'm yikes.
well, dang. Wow. I mean, they still could if they really wanted to. They still could reveal like something Fantastic Four related. Because I mean,
Another holiday photo.
they could just come out and explicitly be like, "Hey guys, this has nothing to do with Deadpool and Wolverine." Okay,
You've already
Absolutely
said more than
nothing,
they've ever said about anything.
right? Even if they said that, and then they're like, "By the way, here are the Fantastic Four in their suits," and it's not their ugly, crappy little pajama ones.
Oh,
Dude, it gets me so mad that they fumbled the opportunity for a Mother's Day post and an Earth Day post and a Father's Day post. Like they did a Happy Valentine's Day of the whole team. They did 444 with Human Torch going making as well 4. For Mother's Earth Day, easily could have been like the Thing graphic.
dude, July 4th.
Mother's
come on.
Day, Mother's
Galactus
Day.
for Earth Day, like
Oh, nice. I was
Bro,
just thinking the Thing
come
for
on.
Earth Day. So
they literally
it's
just could have been like Happy Earth Day, and it's Galactus grabbing the
that
Earth.
would be cool. Mother's Day, Sue Storm, obviously. Father's Day, Mr. Fantastic. I don't know why I hesitated right there. And then boom, like that's just great marketing to build hype for a movie. And it even gets official awareness. It's like by a Mother's Day post, people are gonna be like, oh, are the kids gonna be in the movie? And
Gosh dang.
obviously there's the rumors that they are. And Galactus might be chasing after Nathaniel, but that would have been like actual like official hype and teasing instead of having to hear from our best boy Daniel RPK. Like, come on.
Listen,
Marvel needs a new marketing director.
I was gonna say
Give me
Marvel,
the keys.
Marvel. If you're watching this, we love your films. We do. Yeah, we love the MCU. But please just like actually listen to fans. And if you want help, the Point 3 crew, we're here to help you. Like genuinely. Like we'll do it pro bono.